Hello, I'm Calvio Potato, and I recently beat one of the most unique Rhythm Heaven games, Rhythm Heaven DS, and it's a wonderful game. However, it's not all good. And thus, in stereotypical YouTuber fashion, I've decided to rank all the minigames on a tier list from S tier to T tier. The same rules in my Tengoku ranking apply to this one. I'm not including an F tier on the list. I will be ranking sequels and remixes, but not endless games or rhythm toys, and I'm using someone else's footage for this video. Credit to them in the description. Now, let's begin the ranking. Built to Scale is the runner-up the hole-in-one from Fever and best starting minigame. It manages to be intense yet still a good starting minigame, and it is easily the best build to scale. Everything works and it's just really fun, starting out with an A tier. Glee Club is probably the most iconic game in DS, and it's pretty good. The chorus kids are absolutely adorable, the concept is very interesting, and maybe it's just the music, but it feels weirdly relaxing. Another A tier. Philbots has a nice sense of flow, the music is alright, and the big robots are good finishes. It's not quite as good as the first two though, so I'll put it in B tier. Remember last video when I made fun of Karate Man GBA's singing? Fan Club is the same. The mechanics are fun and the gameplay is great, it just doesn't sound good. B tier. The minigames in the first column are definitely hard to put together, but Remix 1 tried its best. All the minigames have a purpose, Glee Club is a good starting minigame, and Philbots is a good end. I also love how fast it is. An A tier remix. Rhythm Rally has a great pace, and the changes in speed are done well. It's just a really good keep the beat minigame. Are they actually called that? I'm gonna keep calling them that. Anyway, A tier. Shoot 'em Up is a great call and response game. It sounds nice, the patterns are difficult to react to, yet they feel fair, and the intensity is at a great level. The first S tier. I really like Bluebirds. The song is great and the mechanics are really fun. I like when the game's story just shows up halfway through and you still have to play while you're looking at the deep lore, and the ending is great. A tier. When Nintendo made Moai Do-Wop, they forgot that one of the main gimmicks of the game is a flick mechanic. They decided the better plan for Moai Do-Wop's shout system is to require you to move the stylus at a speed no mortal should be capable of moving at. Not only that, but the game wouldn't even be good if the shout did work because the patterns are just not fun. It's just not good. D tier. Remix 2 is really fun. The music has such a good theme and I love it. Shoot 'em Up and Moai Do-Wop take center stage, but they're both great in this remix. Also, Shoot 'em Up has a reference to Tengoku in it. I don't know why they put it here, but it's a cool reference. Anyway, S tier. Love Lizards is fun, but there isn't much to it. It's a nice concept and the mechanics work well, there just isn't much. A B tier minigame. Crop Stomp is fine. The concept is good, but it's not that great. The moles aren't a good secondary input, and the stomping system is weirdly strict. I do like that the hair vegetables from Rhythm Tweezers are here, but it doesn't make up for the issues with the game itself. C tier, I guess. I love Freeze Frame. The game itself is fun, but there are so many references that I love. Sneaky Spirits, Rat Race, the Clappy Trio, and more. The game itself would already be an A tier, but the references confirm it. The Dazzles is just okay. It's got the same bad saying as Fan Club, and the gameplay is just fine. It simply feels boring and slow with not much happening. But can we talk about these lyrics? It literally says, "My love shines brightly, bang bang, down on me and down on you." What does that mean? So anyway, this game is C tier. F3 is fun. Love Lizards and the Dazzles take center stage, but all of the games work well. They reference showtime in the freeze frame sections, and the new mechanic for the Dazzles is good. I'll put it in A tier. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached peak. Munchie Bunk is incredible. It's fast and a lot is happening, yet it never feels overwhelming. The mechanics are great, the concept is adorable, the track is amazing, and it just feels wonderful. An S tier minigame. I like DJ School. It's not too hard, yet it's still fun, and I like the record scratch effect when you're holding the input. A good A tier minigame. Drummer Duel is a nice minigame. All the patterns are great and everything just works. The concept of a simple call and response game that can still be intense is great, and I love the fast parts. Another A tier. I don't know why there's 2 call and response games in a row, but Love Lab is genuinely really fun. The song sounds nice, and I don't know if this is a common opinion, but I think the gameplay feels great. The 3rd A tier in a row. I like Remix 4, it's just not the best remix. Love Lab takes center stage, but this remix is the only part of the game where it doesn't feel good to control. DJ School works, but it doesn't have the record scratch detail. Drummer Duel was definitely hard to implement, but they tried their best. Munchie Monk, however, does not get nearly enough screen time, despite that its one actual section is probably my favorite part of the remix. I'll put Remix 4 in B tier. Splashdown is good. It feels alright to control, the mechanics are good, and the ending is pretty good. I don't have much to say, it's just a B tier minigame. Big Rock Finish has a very weird concept, as it has several short songs instead of one long one, but I think it's fun. It's hard to tell when to flick because the speed is different for each song. I remember before I got the game on official hardware for this video, I was playing the game on an emulator where the touchscreen is controlled with a mouse, and when I got to the really fast song, I just thought, I cannot move my mouse at this speed. That has nothing to do with the ranking, I just wanted to say it.
Thank you.
So anyway, B tier. Is that "we have blanket home" joke dead now? Because Dog Ninja feels like Karate Man at home. I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks this, but I probably am. The song is alright, but the gameplay is just pretty good. Another B tier minigame. You know what I like? Not having carpal tunnel. You know what else I like? Being deprived of the things I enjoy, turning into a cold husk where a man once stood. But doesn't every Rhythm Heaven fan? And that is Frog Hop in a nutshell. It's really fun and the singing is great, but I always wondered why it's called Frog Hop when no hopping actually happens. But then I realized this game was a vocal remix of Bunny Hop from Tengoku. Seriously, listen to a snippet of these 2 games next to each other. Anyway, I love this minigame. S tier. Remix 5 is a good remix. The crowd from Splashdown is in every minigame, and I think that's a good detail. The minigames in the 5th column are definitely hard to put together in one remix, but they did their best. For some reason, however, at the start of every Dog Ninja section, they say, "Here we go." Why would they do this? Did they think we wouldn't be able to react to the switch to Dog Ninja? This isn't even a cue they use in the actual Dog Ninja. Frog Hop and Splashdown work great, however, and Big Rock Finish is integrated surprisingly well. And for some reason the song changes in tone partway through and then just changes back. This remix definitely goes in A tier, it's just weird. I don't know if this is a skill issue, but I cannot play space soccer. It's definitely fun, I just suck at it. The high kick system works well and the minigame is great. An A tier. Lockstep is the most insane minigame. It swaps from on-beat to off-beat constantly, and it's just difficult in general. But to add to the difficulty, the camera zooms out a ton, you start seeing a face when you hit an input, and there's so many visual distractions when you're trying to play. I love it so much. Another A tier. I love rockers. I don't know if saying it controls well is a hot take, but I had no issues with it. The difficulty level is good, it sounds wonderful, and it's all just fun. I don't have a whole lot to say, just a good time. S tier. Remember when we were at Munchie Monk and I said we reached peak? You see, I lied to you. Because now we have reached the true peak. Karate Man is incredible. The sing is really good, the punch-kick mechanic works great. I don't usually like to talk about the practices for these games, but it's really funny that in Karate Man's practice, the actual bombs just have arrows pointing towards them that say bomb. Anyway, this game is S tier. Remix 6 is weird. Multiple times it swaps between Space Soccer and Lockstep mid-input, which I think is a great gameplay feature because it's just swapping from one keep the beat minigame to the other. Karate Man also adds a lot, but rockers definitely do the short end of the stick. It only gets 2 actual sections. This remix is still incredible though. S tier. Built to Scale 2 does exactly what a sequel game should do. It takes the original game and adds more to it. I would like it if the music in Built to Scale 2 was more different to Built to Scale 1, but it's still fun. The new fast inputs are great, and I love how different the gameplay in Built to Scale 2 is compared to Built to Scale 1. I'll put it in A tier. I don't know why they chose the Dazzles as a sequel, but the Dazzles 2 is slightly better than the first Dazzles. It adds some mechanics that you don't practice for, and I'm one of the people that thinks that's a good gameplay feature. And I like the theming, but it's still the Dazzles, and it's still C tier. You know what I like? Not having carpal tunnel. You know what else I like? Reusing intros. It's time for Frog Hop 2. The music is pretty much the same as Frog Hop 1, but without the singing, which just means it's worse. I love the sing in Frog Hop 1, and while the instrumental is good, it just doesn't beat vocals. A tier, 1 tier lower than Frog Hop 1. Fan Club 2 adds a new mechanic to make it less boring, and it really works. When the song ends, however, there's a bridge, and then a whole new song begins, and it's actually pretty intense. The singing still isn't great, but Fan Club 2 is at least better than Fan Club 1. B tier. Remix 7 doesn't quite work. Frog Hop and Fan Club take center stage. More than half the remix is just spent switching between the two, and the Dazzle doesn't appear nearly as much. But the weirdest part is, Built to Scale isn't here at all, despite that it's one of the minigames in this column. They had to prioritize DJ School and Big Rock Finish, I guess. Remix 7 is in B tier. I cannot handle Rhythm Rally 2. So much is happening, and they are actively trying to make it as chaotic as possible. It's so fast, so much is happening, and the camera keeps moving so you can never quite tell when to actually perform the input, and I don't know if that's a good thing. A tier, I guess. I hate Philbots 2. It's so long and it's so boring. The small robot mechanic is good, but it could have ended so many times and it just didn't. It's not even that fun and there's so much of it. D tier. Bluebirds 2 is a good sequel. It doesn't add any new mechanics, but it's fun. The ending is great, and I like the references to Karate Man and Crop Stomp. Plus, I liked it in the Deep Bluebirds lore. At the end of Bluebirds 1, it says, "To be continued." But at the end of Bluebirds 2, it says, "Fin." It's a nice detail. Lockstep 2 didn't need to exist. It's just as good as Lockstep 1, I just don't know why they would make it. Eh, dear? What isn't there to say about Remix 8? It's boring, that's what there isn't to say. What am I saying? Rhythm Rally and Dog Ninja take center stage, and Philbots gets barely any screen time. They decided to instead prioritize Freeze Frame, Drummer Duel, Karate Man, and Munchie Monk. This remix is so all over the place, and I love it. S tier. I can think of like 5 minigames that should have gotten sequels and they didn't. Freeze Frame, DJ School, Drummer Duel, Love Lab, Dog Ninja. The amount of minigames that deserve sequels and didn't get them. So, why did they decide to make a sequel to Moai Do-Wop? It's slightly more interesting than Moai Do-Wop 1, and they added a slower section, but it's still just Moai Do-Wop. A D tier game. Karate Man 2 is Karate Man again. I see no reason to continue talking. An S tier. The new patterns in Glee Club 2 are definitely good for a sequel. Everything works just as well as in Glee Club 1, and I really like the aesthetics. An 8 tier minigame. I like the new Wild West theme in Space Soccer 2. The song is still great and it's a good sequel. Another 8 tier.
Remix 9 is weird. It slots from Moai Do-Wop to Glee Club while you're still doing the input for Moai Do-Wop, and that's a good detail. Space Soccer kind of sucks in this remix though. The audio cue of the ball in Space Soccer plays before it actually swaps to Space Soccer. But since this audio cue is pretty quiet, and you don't have enough time to react when it actually switches, you can barely know when to start performing inputs. And also I found where Built-A-Scale is. B tier, I suppose.
Shoot 'Em Up 2 is a great sequel. The new song sounds nice, and the new patterns feel great. Also, the girl from Marcher is here. I don't know why she's here, but I like the reference. An S tier minigame. Splashdown 2 is an alright sequel, as it just takes the original game and adds more to it. The new patterns work well, and now there's seals instead of dolphins. B tier. Munchie Monk 2 is pretty much the same as Munchie Monk 1, but now there's elephants and rats making the music. Need I say more? S tier.
Rockers 2 adds a mechanic that requires you to press the R button. And I was told at the start of the game that it was controlled entirely with the touchscreen. I've been swindled. I don't even know why this mechanic is here, because you hardly ever do it. It's just as good as Rockers 1, but it uses a button beside the touchscreen, and thus it goes in A tier, below Rockers 1.
I love Remix 10. I love the transition between Shoot 'Em Up and Lockstep. It's a really creative way to swap into a Keep the Beat minigame. The transition from Airboarder and Glee Club, because Airboarder ends with you holding the input, and in Glee Club you have to hold the input for most of it. The fade out note from Glee Club to Philbots, and the transition from Dog Ninja into Karate Man. I just think it sounds nice. The only games that I feel are underused are Love Lizard, Frog Hop, and DJ School, and considering there are 25 minigames in this remix, and so many of them are done well, that's very impressive. Plus, it uses Karate Man as the starting minigame, and that automatically makes it better. An S tier remix. I shouldn't technically count Airboarder in the ranking since it's a credits minigame. It isn't included in a column with any other minigame, and there's no requirement to get a passing grade on it to continue with the game. But I still want to rank it because it is technically one of the minigames in this game. It's fun, it's a great credits minigame, the singing is great, despite sounding a little bit crushed, but the timing feels a bit too finicky. It's really fun if the song says, "I am always looking at you," when the camera is pointed completely away from the gameplay. And I'm not counting this in the ranking, but the cast credits theme of this game is so good. I've genuinely played Airboarder more times so I can listen to the credits theme than I have because I wanted to play Airboarder. It's B tier. And that's the tier list complete. You know, playing for this video was the first time I played this game on official hardware, and it's an amazing game. It added so many minigames and characters that are genuinely unforgettable. It may be a little too strict and it may have Moai Do-Wop, but this is still an incredible game through and through. Thank you for watching, please like and subscribe, and see ya!